Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Curtains, aka Greg Shahade, in 5 minutes on ICC. Let's open with d4 against Greg and just see what he does. I think he's a big expert in Nimzo Indian setups, so let's see if he plays that. I know he's pretty knowledgeable in these lines. And we're playing this game kind of impromptu. I was actually just watching Greg's USCL stream on Twitch, and the people in the chat were like, hey, you guys should play. Let's play a game. So, yeah, Greg and I are playing one game, just kind of off the cuff here. Should be fun. He's doing recording as well, so this is a impromptu dual commentary. All right, d6, that's a reasonable move. I'll just play g3 and fianchetto my light square bishop. He tricked me into playing rated. You see that? Look how much rating I'm giving up here. I better win this game, right? Okay, let's play bishop g2. That's a very young-looking Greg Shahade. I don't think Greg looks like that anymore. Look at all that hair he's got. Not happening anymore, Greg. Sorry to break it to you. Okay, let's castle. I really better win this game after all this smack talk I'm laying on Greg right now. So I'm going to try to go rook d1 and occupy the d file. I mean, you could jump the knight into d4, maybe. It's probably a reasonable plan. Otherwise, I think I have some moderate advantage, maybe. I feel like with rook d1, I'm hitting his queen and getting at him a little quicker than he's getting at me. Bishop f4. Bishop f4 seems decent. Let's do that. If he plays e5, then I can play bishop g5 and maybe use that pin to my advantage. He'd be weakening the d5 square. I don't have to jump on the d file quite yet. If he plays bishop d7, then I might jump on the file. Okay, that was the move I thought he might play, but it seems weakening to me. For instance, yeah, let's go here. And take. Interesting. So he gets rid of that knight that I wanted to jump into d5. So I have a choice between taking with the pawn and the queen. I mean, pawn takes looks absolutely ugly, but it does have the benefit of controlling d4. Nah, I don't think I should risk that, though. I'm just going to do it this way. Wants me to back off with the bishop. All right, let's do it. Probably e3. Otherwise, knight d4 is coming. e3. Knight d2, knight d4. Do I really mind? No, actually, that's probably fine. If knight d4, I'll just play rook fe1 and guard the e2 square. And then I can try to kick him with e3 anyways, I think, coming up. Maybe he could do knight d4, rook fe1, bishop g4. Just play actively. It might not be a bad plan. There's also knight d4, rook ae1. If I want to keep this rook on the f file, like maybe to play f4 in the future. So I'm kind of looking at that idea as well. Might not be so bad. Let's try that. It's a little funky, but perhaps if bishop g4, f3 followed by f4 could be good. Knight e4, he'll just move his queen somewhere like queen e7. Yeah, let's do this. So this is the reason why I use that other rook. I'm keeping this one where it's at on f1. You might recall that Greg and I played in the Streamers Challenge on chess.com, and I won that game, so I know he's out for revenge. But that was an interesting game, and Greg was actually doing very well that tournament, the chess.com Streamers Challenge. Okay, so e3, just kick the knight back. Do we like that? Yeah, looks pretty good. Just boot the knight. I can go knight e4 or maybe pawn f4 next. Probably he should go back to c6. I don't think e6 is that great of a square, because then I play knight e4, and I feel like he'll have trouble with this pawn. Now let's do this now. So I'm keeping this pawn firmly planted on the e3 square. Maybe someday I can go f5 and then play knight e4 and look to advance at him. So if knight e4, queen e7 is coming, if f5, probably queen e7 as well. Let's play f5. It seems interesting. Try to cramp him. I think maybe I can go bishop to d5, f6, knight e4. Play it like a little sacrifice. I mean, I think he should move the queen, because otherwise knight e4 followed by f6 on the next move looks pretty disgusting for him. So I believe he should withdraw the queen so that he can meet f6 with take, and then knight e4 with f5. But I'm not positive. Backs it all the way up there. And that also invites f6, though. Or bishop d5. I gotta believe f6 is good. g6, okay. All right, let's keep the initiative going. I want to attack this pawn, maybe get knight d6 going. Maybe rook d1 to pin him. Rook's not doing much of anything on its current file. Let's come here, just attack that bishop. We'll come here, kind of eye that pawn on c5, also the e5 pawn. Well, I like my central influence at the moment. I think that's going well for me. Let's take. So if he takes here, I take with the pawn. And then my queen will be defending the knight. So that's a nice benefit of that last move. I can take and then take on e5, I believe. So queen takes e5, defending the knight. What is he doing against that? Nothing I see. Yeah, this looks good. So I'm up 2 pawns. Knight c6, maybe? Bishop takes c6. Kind of have to take that. Don't think any other move. Well, actually, queen here, maybe. Queen there, take, queen f8. Okay, I should take. Yeah, I just gotta watch my back rank now. I'm a little concerned about that. b4. He has b6. He's got some annoying ideas right now that are a bit hard to tame. Probably e4 is decent. Yeah, let's play e4. Whoa, I gotta watch that time. I really gotta watch my time now. b6 maybe? b6, okay. Let's come here. Gotta stop him from infiltrating with this queen or with this rook. Maybe queen f4 soon. Threaten this pawn. Let's come here. Can take f6 though.
Time warning.
Let's come here. Let's offer a trade. The knight takes g5.
Check.
Could check g2. But I am hitting his bishop now. Maybe I can't take it though. Queen takes.
Check.
Ah, you can take d1.
Check. Check. Check.
I'm going to get him on time.
Check.
All right, got the moon on time. That's what happens when we play with no increment, I guess. All right. I'll tell Greg GG. Did he just change his country? Guernsey. Yeah, he's raging in the chat. Said, "Oh my god, so lucky." Yeah, I was up 2 pawns, but I didn't quite know how to convert that position. And then after this, like once Queen G4 happened, it was completely random. I mean, I thought about Knight takes H3, but he's going to play Queen takes H3, and I can't take on H6 because his Queen is protecting. Let me just pull that up for a second. Yeah, I feel like I had a pretty nice position out of the opening. I'm going to skip kind of some of the opening discussion, but right here, so after I was able to induce him to play E5, I felt like Bishop G5 with the idea of Knight D5 was pretty decent. And I don't know. The only thing he's got going for him is this Knight D4 idea. If I can defeat that, I feel like the weakness of D5 and E4 should be worth something for white. Computer seems to think it's pretty close to equal. Maybe Knight D2 wasn't as great as I thought it would be. And then I used this creative idea of Rook AE1 instead of the more natural Rook FE1. But I really felt like if I use the other Rook, Rook FE1, Bishop G4, that it's similar to the game. The computer wants to take here, Rook B8, Bishop F3, and try to hold on to the pawn. What if Bishop takes B7, Knight takes
Check.
E2? Rook takes, Bishop takes A8, Rook takes A8, Rook E1. Okay, and I'm going to win E5 after that. After this bishop moves. All right, so Rook AE1 might not have been the grand idea I thought it was. F3, bishop goes back, E3. This felt good, though. Yeah, I felt like I was gaining a nice initiative. Note that black cannot take here because I can play, for instance, E4 or G4, and this bishop's pinned to the queen. So I'm just trying to jump the knight in and then play F6 and open up his king side. Queen D8 I thought was strange. I thought he had to play Queen E7, but evidently he didn't like that for some reason. And here I was thinking Bishop D5 to maybe continue with this move. The engine says the direct Knight E4 is better. Here, Queen D2, threatening check and picking up this pawn. And it gives a nice edge to white. So this is the game continuation now. Yeah, it did feel like I was cruising. I mean, I won the C5 pawn. At this point, this pawn is too difficult to defend. I've got my knight and my rook attacking it. The queen's defending, but black can't get another defender there. Greg did a good job of complicating the game, though, with this knight b4 idea. Queen takes e5 is a bad move, apparently. I should have played this. I didn't like that because of rook d3. I've got an in-between move, c5. Okay. So I don't have to respond yet to the attack on my queen. I can play c5. And if they take here, I take the queen, and this is under attack, and this is coming. So white's winning. So black would have to back off the queen somewhere. Yeah, and they need to go somewhere to defend the knight, too. This is one of the few available squares. a4. Continue deflecting the queen. And if take, now take. Okay, and then finally they can't take that pawn, which I thought was the issue. Had I played into this line and then taken on e5, I thought they could take here, and it was dangerous because my queen is under attack, and also black is threatening some discoveries on my king. So queen takes e5, maybe gave him some opportunities, and he was down on time, but he seized those opportunities well. Yeah, here I'm ahead 2 pawns, but you see the engine eval, it's completely equal. That's because black has a lot of play against my king. My king is open. Check out all these pawns on dark squares. That means that the light squares around my king are weak. You know, a simple move like bishop h3 is going to threaten my rook and also threaten queen g2 mate. So I think it's really anyone's game from here, as the game continuation kind of demonstrated. wonder if one of us missed like an easy win. The quality of our moves is going down rapidly. I thought he was going to take on f6 somewhere here. I knew I was leaving like one of my pawns at least hanging. Yeah, I hung the c4 pawn, trying to trade queens. He could have taken a2 with no consequence. Yeah, and by some
Check.
miracle, I got the flag at the end. Even this position was pretty complicated. I so badly want to go take h6, but if I do, I lose the knight with check and then get mated on the next move.
Check.
Yeah, and now he's winning. You can just pick up f3.
Check.
Yeah, and we were down to mere
Check.
seconds and
Check. Check. Check.
got the dirty flag. Okay, so fun game against Greg, and hopefully him and I will be able to do more games in the future. This was, like I said, just totally off the cuff. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.